Hey folks, going to be doing a rules overview and playthrough of a game called Void Intentions that is currently on Kickstarter seeking funding. This is the second game in what I'm going to call a series. The first game was called Void Halls. In that game, you played the dungeon master. Essentially, you were trying to attack heroes as they ventured into your dungeon, scored points, etc. It's a solo game, and so is this one. In Void Intentions, the role is reversed. You're the hero. You're going through a dungeon. You're trying to get through the dungeon. You're going to start where the door is, and then you're going to sort of try to get to the stairs and collect points. And it is a solo game, and it's basically try to beat your high score. Is what all it comes down to, basically. So we're going to do a brief little rules overview of this, and then we'll dive into a solo play. It shouldn't take too long. There's 30 rounds, but they go pretty quickly. So you're going to have a map, which is what we have here. This is what I'm going to call the base map. Level 1 map, so to speak. All the rooms are basically the same 3x3 grid. They're connected by hallways or stairs, however you want to look at them. Each room is gonna have a level, so you're gonna have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. That's gonna come into play when you start rolling for traps, etc. It's gonna modify the number of dice and whatnot that you're gonna roll, or how much you add to whatever you roll. We'll get to that as we get through the rules here. You're going to, first what you're going to do is you're going to pick your map, obviously. Then you're going to choose your character. There are 4 or 5 characters currently. There are going to be a total of 10 characters. I have chosen the warrior here. Each character has a set of stats. You're going to have the starting life up here. So I'm going to track life with these dice. That it does come with a sheet of counters that you can sort of cut out to track all of these various things. But I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use dice that I have here. So he starts with, the warrior starts with 50 life. So I'm going to put a die on 50. The next thing are his 2 attributes here. And those are listed at the top of the map page. The leftmost with the sword is let's see, what is it called? The attack? Look that up real quick. That's the attack attribute, yes. And basically what this does is whatever die value you have here in that attribute is how much you add to your attack rolls. So we're absolutely going to get into that because I am going to be attacking things. So we'll set a dice here. We start with attack attribute of +1, so I put a level 1 dice there. Next attribute is defense, and that's the one over here. I have a +1 for that, so I will put a 1 value die right there. Defense is essentially the opposite of attack. You are going to be subtracting whatever your die result is from your die roll, or what your attribute level. So right now they're both attribute level 1, so if I were to roll a defense roll, I would, or a, not a defense roll, if an attacker attacks me, I will subtract whatever my attribute is from their attack roll. The next one over there, the icon that looks like a trap, is called the evade attribute. And it is going to subtract dice from a danger. When you explore through the squares in the map here, you're going to roll for an exploration. And one of the things that could happen is a danger, and this represents sort of like a pitfall, or the ceiling collapsing, or a trap going off. And your attribute level in traps will subtract the number of dice that you roll for that danger roll. So when you happen upon a exploration that gives you a danger, you are going to take a number of dice equal to the current level of the room. So if you're in level 1 here and you come across an exploration that hits a danger, you are going to take one die and you're going to roll it. If you would have had a level 1 evade attribute here, you would subtract one die from your roll. So if you had a level 1, you would not roll for any danger in the first room, in level 1 room. When you get to level 2, you would be rolling two dice for a danger exploration of a dangerous space. And if you had a level 1 attribute in the evade, you would only roll the one die because you would subtract one whole die off of that roll. The next attribute there is the loot attribute, and that is the key. And essentially that tells you how many die you're gonna roll for treasures if you happen across a exploration that gives you a treasure. If you don't have a die in either of these, then they're essentially treated as 0. So if I don't have a die, I don't start with a die or a attribute level in this loot attribute, so I cannot not actually get loot in an exploration. I can only start getting loot once I upgrade or add an attribute. The last attribute there, which is the eye symbol, is the awareness attribute. And this will be used to determine how much life you regain when you go through a camp phase. And it'll allow you to re-roll the number of dice, that whatever its level is, on the first exploration of a room. So this would be a whole room here. So when I first come into this room, I could re-roll a number of dice equal to whatever my awareness is for that very first exploration. You'll notice that there are 5 attributes there. You are only ever able to have 4 attributes. So you're going to have one that you're not going to be able to go into at all. Various things will allow you to increase your attributes level. Usually during the camp phase, when you sort of spend your treasures and resources, or supplies, I think they're called, to get various effects. One of them is to increase an attribute level. So the max level of the attributes is 6. So if you were to, once you change an attribute up to 6, when you increase it to 6, you get an additional free attribute upgrade to another attribute. So if I were to make this, if this one hits a 6, I could then increase this one to a 2 automatically for free. And you can chain them. So if, like, these are both 5, and I had another one here that was 4, I could upgrade this one to 6, get the free upgrade this one to 6, another free upgrade, and upgrade this one to, what did I say? It was 4 up to 5. So you can kind of chain that together once you get up to that certain point. Life is obviously your life. If you get to 0, you lose. You will be able to gain life above what your starting life is. Circling back to the character card here. In the bottom right is your, I'm going to call it your personal quest. So this is at the end of the game. If you have the items that are listed in your personal quest as unspent, then you will get an additional bonus points at the end of the game. So for the warrior, you need to have 2 unspent treasure chests, 3 unspent attack supplies, or loot supplies, I guess you could call it, and then 2 unspent tomb supplies. So again, they have to be unspent. You have to have them, but not have had spent them during the camp phase. If you do that, you're going to get, I think it's 10 bonus points for the end of the game scoring for your personal quest. Down here, you're going to see the time track. So every time there's an hourglass, that's going to be a exploration round. You're basically going to move to one adjacent square, and that is orthogonal movement only. You're not allowed to go diagonal. You're going to explore that area if it is not explored, and the way you do that is you're going to roll a die. and then you're going to consult this chart down here based on what you roll. If you roll a 1, you're going to find a treasure, which gets you a loot, or you're going to find a treasure chest, which gets you a treasure. But you can only roll for that treasure if you have an attribute in the loot, a level in the loot attribute. If you roll a 2, you're going to find a mine, which is the pickaxe, and that's going to get you a treasure plus a danger. That's the exclamation point. So that's where you would roll a single, or you're going to roll a die equal to the level of the room that you are in. And then you're going to gather dice equal to the level of the room you are in. You will subtract your evade attribute from that number of dice and then roll the die. And that's how much damage you're going to be taking from that danger, whatever it is. You will then subtract out your defense value from your defense attribute from that total damage. And that's going to be how much life you actually lose on the track here. If you roll a 3, this is a tomb, and it's a little rectangle. That's going to give you a treasure, and again, only if you have the loot attribute. And it will also initiate an attack. So, a skeleton pops out of the tomb, or a mummy or something, and attacks you. We'll get to the attacks here in a second. If you roll a 4, that is actually a trap, and that gives you a dungeon, or not dungeon, a danger, and it's the same thing. You're going to gather the number of dice equal to the level of the room, subtract your evade value from the number of dice you have, roll whatever is left, and then subtract your defense value from that incoming damage. A 5 is going to be an attack, an actual fight, I guess I'm going to call it. And that indicates, that's that sort of explosion symbol there. And the way that works is you will take a die and you are going to roll the die, and that's going to, the result of the die is going to be equal to the health of the monster you're fighting plus the current level of the room. So if I roll a die here for a monster, I rolled a 2 in room level 1. That's 2 life plus 1 for the level of the room, so that's 3 life. And then I would put that there to mark that life. When you have an attack, it is sort of like an ambush. So the monster will attack you first. The monster will roll a die, a single die, do that amount of damage minus your defense attribute. You will take that amount of damage, and then you will retaliate. You will roll a dice yourself, or a die yourself. And you will add your attack value to that, whatever you roll for your attribute. And then that's how much damage the enemy takes. And you reduce the die of their hit points by that value. And that goes back and forth like that until one of you dies. Then if you roll a 6, nothing happens. As you go through and explore these squares, when you do the exploration, you are going to either use these tokens that you are going to cut out to put on those squares to indicate you've already explored them and what you found, or you can just draw on them as best you can, these symbols, to indicate you have explored that square. You can move back into a square that you have already explored. However, you don't do an exploration. You're essentially wasting a turn on the turn track. You remember there's only 30 turns. You're not doing an additional explorer action to try to get supplies or loots, or treasures rather. As you gather these, as you explore these things, you're going to track what you run into, and you're going to track them up here in this area. So for every treasure chest, you will essentially color in the bottom section of this chest track here. There's 2 chests for the chest. And as you use them, you'll cover in the top. So you'll be able to tell, what unused ones you have, how many unused versus how many you've actually used. Same thing for the mines, the tombs, the traps, the attacks that you go through. These last 2 are special circumstances. So this first one is a great weapon, and it is 2 squares in size. So how do you get a great weapon? You would have to roll 2 6s on your exploration roll. Now, how do you get a second die? Well, in the first room, you're going to roll 1 die for exploration. When you get to the second room, you're going to roll 2 dice for exploration. You're going to choose the better result, or whichever result you want between the 2 die. Or when you get to the third room, you're going to be rolling 3 exploration die. You're going to pick the result you want of the 3. So you're going to have a lot more choices once you get deeper into the dungeon, but you're probably going to be lower on health, so it kind of is going to kind of balance out a little bit. But if you roll 2 6s, you will get a great weapon. There are 4 great weapons, and you know that because there are only 4 boxes here in this chest tracking area for the great weapons. And you're essentially going to, when you draw the great weapon, or when you use one of the tokens that is provided, you're going to lay it across 2 squares. 1 square has to be where you currently are, and then overlapping a second square. You don't move your guy, so if I were to lay one down and it would cover this square and this square, and I actually started here, you don't move your hero over to this square. You will remain where you are, and you have to come off of that. So you could still move there, but it's a waste of a turn because you've already explored that technically. You cannot, when you're placing the great weapons, you can't overlap an explored area, so it has to be into an unexplored area. So that might bind you up if you get into a corner, you've explored, the adjacent squares, you might not be able to place it, at which point you're not going to get it. In addition, when you get a great weapon, you will be allowed to, just looking at it here, it can be used as any 2 supplies. That's what it is. When you go into the camp phase, and I'll get to that in a second. But you also get a attribute of your choice. So if you do get a great weapon, you can increase an attribute, either one you already have, or add an additional one that you don't have yet. Remember, you can only have 4 of these 5 attributes. The other one is the mystical force, I think is what it's called. Yes, the mystical force, and that's the triangle. That's if you roll 3 6s. And this is a one and done, and that's indicated because there's only 1 box to fill in here on the chest tracking area. And the mystical force, if you roll the 3 6s, you can gain 3 attributes of your choice. But it only does count as 1 supply during the camp phase. But it is a way to upgrade your attributes fairly quickly if you can manage to get 3 6s on your roll. We've talked about this area. Up here is where you're going to track your treasures. Again, there's a ton of chest boxes here for you to track. Again, you fill in the bottom, and then as you use them, you fill in the top. And remember, you would get treasures if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, but you also have to have the loot attribute in order to actually get that. And essentially, when you do those things, when you get that treasure, you are going to roll as many die as equal to your whatever your loot value is. So if you have 1, you would roll 1 die up to the current level of your room. So if you're in room or level 2 and but your attribute level is 3, you still only roll 2 die because you're only in room 2. And that determines the value of the treasure. That's how many treasures you would mark off. So from those the loot roll. This down here is endgame scoring. You're essentially, so when you get to the end game, if you make it all the way to the stairs within 30 rounds, then game ends. If you don't make it to the squares by the end of 30 rounds, you essentially are going to move your hero the shortest path you can take to the stairs, but you're going to subtract I believe it's 1 point per hex, or per unused each square you have to move into. So if I ended here And end of 30 rounds, I'm here. I've got 1, 2, 3. These stairs don't count as spaces. I've got 1, 2, 3. That would be minus 3 points. So that it does bring up a good point. These stairs are not spaces. When you would move onto them, you essentially move through them quickly, and you're on the next space. So you would subtract points for however many hexes away from the stairs you are, essentially. However, if you get to the stairs at 30 or before 30, however many rounds you have left over, you would get additional points. So instead of subtracting, you're adding them. Whatever your health level is at is how many points you get added to, to that. Then you will go to your attributes, and you get points equal to the attribute level times 2. And if you have any attributes that have gotten to level 6, you'll get an additional 3 points per per attribute, I guess. And then the question mark here, that is your personal quest that's over here. If you've completed that, you get 10 points. If you do not complete this, you get minus 5 points. And then for every supply that you have for every 5 treasures that you do not have spent, that's up here, you get 1 point. And then for every supply that you haven't spent down here, you get 1 point. The great weapons and the mystical forces, if you've not spent those are actually granted 2 points instead of just the 1. And then you calculate your score that way, and that's what your score is for the dungeon. And then you just try to beat it again. There are several different maps that are going to be available for this. Different layouts, different numbers of squares in the room. So I'm going to call this one sort of like your basic dungeon, your easier dungeon. Some of the other maps, the rooms are much smaller. They might be only 2 by 2, but they might have a room at the end that's like 6 by 6 or something like that. The number of rooms seems to be equal. They're just sort of shifted around the spaces that way. All right, so I am going to get started with the playthrough here. We forgot to talk about the campfire round. So in a campfire round, first you're still going to move to an adjacent space. Again, that is orthogonal, not diagonal. And then instead of rolling for an exploration, you're just going to draw a campfire symbol on it, or use one of the campfire... Actually, there are no campfire tokens on the printout here. So you'll draw a campfire token symbol there. Then you're going to take camp actions. So you can use, when you're camping, you can use your items in your inventory for various different things. You can spend them, and you can spend as many of these as you want, as long as you can afford them. If you spend 2 of the same supplies, so these down here are supplies. So if I had 2 pickaxe or 2 mines that I ran into, I explored, and I had them down here, I could color both the tops in to spend 2. If you spend 2 of the same, you can level up an existing attribute by 1 or get a new attribute. Again, you can only have 4 of the 5 attributes. If you spend 2 different supplies, so if I had a mine that I collected as well as a tomb, I could color in the tops of both of those. Spend 2 different supplies, I increase my life by 2. If I spend 5 treasures, so once I have treasures up here, if I fill in a chest essentially, I can spend 5 to increase my life by 1. And then you will gain life equal to the value of your awareness attribute. So I don't have an awareness attribute at the moment, so I don't get any additional life. And then that's the end of the camp round, and you go to the next round. So pretty straightforward. We will go ahead and get started here. I am going to use these dice. So we will start with round 1. I am going to indicate I'm going to use a dice to indicate my person, and I'm stepping in through the door, so I'm on that first text. So that's my first move. Now I have to roll for exploration, so I'll take a die. I'll roll. I rolled a 4, so I can put that die here. 4 is a trap, so I'll just slide this away, and I will draw a little trap here. Trap is danger. So I am a level 1, so I will take 1 die, and I would subtract however many dice from here as my evade value. My evade value is nothing at the moment, so I still have this die. I will roll it. 4. So I'm taking 4 damage minus my defense. My defense is 1, so I take 3 damage. So I will go 1, 2, 3 on my life. And then I'm going to color in a trap. So I found a trap, so I color that in on this box. And then I will color in this round to indicate I've completed that round. And I should be ready for the next round. Rounds are not going to take very long. So I have a choice to move. So first thing you do, whether it's a normal round or a campfire round, you choose where to move. I kind of want to get my attributes up a little bit, so I think I'm going to try to go around this room and explore. So I'm going to go to the north. I will take this die, and I will roll. I rolled a 3 this time. A 3 is a tomb, so I will draw a tomb here. A tomb will give me a treasure, which I have no loot value, so I don't get any treasure. I don't roll for it. And it gives me a danger. That's the exclamation point down here. That is what I just did with the trap, so we'll do the same thing. I'll gather 1 die because I'm in level 1. I have no evade value, so I don't subtract any dice from my pool of dice, and I roll. I rolled a 3. I subtract my defense value, so that brings it to a 2, so I lose 2 health. So I'm down to 45 health now. But I have a tomb and a trap. All right, let's color in the round, and we will continue on. Let's just go to the east here. Again, we'll roll our exploration roll. A 2. A 2 is a mine. Oh. My mistake. Back the pickup truck up. That was a 2. That was my roll. A 3 was what I rolled before, which is a tomb, and a tomb is an attack. It is not a danger. It is a treasure and an attack. That was my mistake. So an attack happens, and what we need to do is roll for the life of the enemy. So it is 1 die plus the level of the room. So 6, the absolute worst roll I could roll, plus 1. That's the life of this enemy is 7. So I will roll. He attacks first, or let me say it's a skeleton. Good roll. He attacks with 1. And my defense value is 1, so I take 0 damage. Now it's my turn to attack. I roll 1 die. I rolled a 3. And I add my damage value, or my attack value, which is 1, so I do 4 damage to him. So he's a 7 minus 4. That brings him down to 3. Now he attacks again. He attacks me again for 1, minus 1, defense 0. I promise that's what he rolled. I attack him. 3 plus 1 for 4. That's enough to kill him. And that's how the attack plays out. That's what should have happened. All right, so I said I was going to move to the east. I did roll. I already rolled a 2, which is the mine, or the pickaxe. It's technically a mine, so I'll draw in a little mine symbol here. And that is going to be a treasure, which I don't have a attribute in, so I can't collect. But it is a danger, and a danger is the one where we look at the level, gather that many dice, which is 1. Taking 4 damage. I don't subtract any dice from, because I don't have an evade value. But I do subtract my defense, so 4 to 3, so I take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. But I now have a pickaxe. And we fill in the next round. This round is complete. One more normal round, and then we're going to have a campfire. So let's continue east. And we will roll. I rolled a 5. That's an attack. I'm just going to draw a sword here to indicate an attack. And that is just an attack. I will go ahead and color in this, that I'm going to have this attack. So it's the same thing we just did with the skeleton we fought. So we roll a dice to determine hit points. 5 plus the level, 6. So he has 6 hit points. And he attacks first. So roll 2, -1. So I take 1 wound. Then I attack. 1 plus 1 for 2. So he's down to 4. Then he attacks. 6 -1 for 5. So I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Attacking him. 3 plus 1 for 4. That's enough to kill him. And then we fill in this round. And we have a campfire phase now. So I get a move. So we'll go down. We'll go south, and we'll draw in a little campfire. That's going to be my campfire symbol. And then I can spend things. So I have, I actually have 4 different items, and that gives me life. I can spend 2 different ones to increase my life by 2. So I could spend, now I need 2 treasures, 3 attacks, and 2 tombs. I might want to keep some of this. I don't need traps, and I don't need things. So I think what I'll do is I'll spend the trap. I'll spend 2 difference. I'll spend the trap, and I'll spend the mine to increase my life by 2. That puts me up to 40. And then gain life equal to my awareness attribute, which is nothing. And then that is the end of the campfire round. Next round. Let's keep going. So let's move 1 over here. We will do an explorer. I rolled a 1, which is a treasure. I do need that. That's my treasure symbol. A cat. That gives me a treasure, but I don't roll for treasures because I don't have anything in that attribute. We color this in. Let's move again. Explore to the south. 4. That's a trap with an evade. Or a danger symbol. So level 1, so I still collect 1 die. My evade's still nothing, so I don't subtract anything from this die. I don't subtract a number of dice from my pool. And I roll to see how much damage. 2 damage, minus my defense value is 1, so I lose 1 life. But I have his second trap now. I don't know if I should go to room 2 yet or not. I really want more attributes. I think I'm gonna finish this room off first. Move over 1. Oh wait, you know what? This should be, yeah, I should have colored this in. I rolled a 3. That is another tomb. We'll go ahead and fill in a tomb. So a tomb gives a treasure, which I have no loot, so I can't take, and a attack. Again, we'll roll dice for the health plus the level of the room. 5 again, so he's at 6 life. Man, I'm really rolling bad for this life. He attacks first. 4 -1 for my defense, so I take 3. 1, 2, 3. I attack. 3 + 1 for 4, so he's down to 2. He attacks again. 4 -1 for 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I attack. 5 + 1 for 6. Kills him. That was the tomb. So that was this here. This gets filled in. And then now I have to move over here. I've already explored. That was the trap I did previous round. So I don't do another explore roll. But I do just sort of fill this in. And now I will have a campfire round. So I'll move over here and we'll do another campfire. And I can spend stuff now. I'm going to spend both of these tombs because I need to get an attribute, and I really need a loot attribute, I think. So we're going to put a level 1 loot attribute. I think that's all I'm going to do right now. So we'll fill in this. All right. Next round. Again, we go through the stairs onto the first hex. Now we're in room 2. So for exploring, I roll 2 dice. And I'm going to take whichever value I want. So I have a 1 or a 3. I will take the 1. And draw the chest. So that I can get loot. So I get loot, and my loot value is 1, so I can roll 1 dice up to the value of the room I am. I'm in room 2, but my my attribute level is only 1, so I only roll 1 die. I rolled a 2, so that's how many treasures I find. All right, that's that round done. Now I gotta figure out where I want to move. All right, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 more moves left. If I go straight to the stairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 11 straight to the stairs. It's basically 8 rooms I can play around with. I think it's probably going to be a good idea to spend a little bit of time in this room trying to get some more supplies. So we'll move to the right. We'll do an explore. Again, we're rolling 2 dice. 2 and a 4. We will do a 2 since it gets me a treasure. So we'll do a pickaxe. So we'll do with a 2. And it's a treasure. A treasure is my loot value. And I'll roll 2. So I get 2 more. Rolling low on these treasure rolls here now. But I do have a danger roll. So danger roll, again, is the level of the room. So that's 2 dice into my pool. I have no evade value, so I don't subtract any of these dice. I'm just going to roll them, add them together, and then subtract whatever my defense is. Hopefully I don't roll double 6s, but I probably will. 3 and a 1, so that's 4. Minus my defense value is 3, so I lose 3 life. 1, 2, 3. And I color in another one of these. And I got a treasure chest up there too. You know what? I should have had a treasure chest for that other one as well. The one up here that I never colored in. So I should have had more stuff than what I was working with. Could have had another attribute maybe. But that's how it goes. Alright, so let's explore down here. Again, level 2, so I get 2 dice to do my explore roll. A 2 or a 5. I feel like a 5 is a better way to go at this point. I just don't like having to minus that many die out for that evade value. We'll do with a 5. That's an attack. So, well, let me color in the treasure. Alright, so life. Life is a 1, but it's a level 2 room, so that increases it to 3. He attacks me first. He does 3, minus my defense value for 2, so I lose 2 life. I attack him for 1 plus 1. It does 2 damage, brings him down to 1 life. He attacks me for 2, minus 1, I lose 1 life. And then I attack him. 1 plus 1 for 2, so I just barely killed him. Terrible rolls there. And that colors in this round. Now we do a campfire round. We'll just go south again. Campfire round. Oh, I can spend supplies. So I need to update. I have to spend this stuff to probably stay alive. So 2 treasures or 2 chests to increase an attribute, and we'll give that there. Evade now, and then I'll spend these 2 swords to increase my defense to 2. I think I'm going to spend the pickaxe and the trap that I haven't spent to increase my life by 2. If I had 5 treasures, I could spend 5 to increase it by another one, but I don't. So, that is the end of that campfire round. And we're on to the next round. We will move to the west. And still in level 2, so I roll 2 dice. A 4 or a 6. A 6 is nothing. A 4 gives me a trap and a danger roll. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the trap. Just so it gives me, because it gives me another supply I can spend. So I chose the 4. And I I'm getting 2 dice because I'm in room 2 for the danger roll, but I now have a 1 evade, so 1 die goes away. So now it's just 1 die roll. Of course, it's a 5, but I have a defense value of 2 now, -2, which brings me to 3, so I only lose 3 life. 1, 2, 3. Only lose 3. I'm almost at half of what I started with. And I did color in that trap. And that is that round. Next round, let's go north. Doing our explore roll. 6 or a 1. I will take a 1. That's the treasure chest. I roll my loot value, which is 1, 3, so that gives me 3 treasures. And that finishes off that round. And next round. We should probably get out of dodge here a little bit. So we'll do our explore roll. 2 or a 6. We'll do the 2 to get the pickaxe. That gives us a loot, so I get a loot roll. 3, that's 3 more treasures. But I have a danger roll. So a danger roll level 2, so I get 2 dice, minus my evade value, so 1 dice goes away. 1, minus my defensive 2, I take no damage. That finishes off that round. Campfire. Let's go ahead and move into the next room, and we'll do our campfire in here. I can spend... I don't really have 2 of anything. I don't really want to increase my life right now, so we will just end it there. Next round. Let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 4 more rooms. 1, 2. I could go around the outside and then come, and then I've got to go straight. It's probably the best. All right, we'll go up here. Explore roll. Level 3 now, or room 3. So I roll 3 dice on my explore. I got a 2, a 5, or a 6. 5 is an attack. 2 is a... you know what? I didn't get my pickaxe. Or 6 is nothing. Well, 6 is out. We'll do... See, that danger roll is going to be 3. It's still going to be 2 dice. We'll do the attack. I think it's the better route. So I chose 5. And I get to attack. Life roll. 5 plus level 3, so he's at 8. And he attacks first. 5 minus 2, so I lose 3. 1, 2, 3. I attack. 5 plus 1 for 6. He attacks. 2 minus 2, no life lost. And I attack. 2 plus 1 for 3, that's enough to kill him. And that colors in this round here. And next exploration, we'll go to the west. Again, 3 dice. 1, 1, or a 6. Why couldn't those two be 6s? Well, it's going to be a 1. I roll my loot, which is just 1. I get 1 loot. Or 1 treasure, rather. And another round goes by. I don't think I'm doing that well. We'll go 1 to the left. 4, 4, or 6. We're going to have to risk the trap. So it gives me a danger roll of 3 minus my evade value, so I'm only rolling 2 dice. So I roll 2 3s, that's 6 minus 2 for my total, so I lose 4 life. 1, 2, 3, 4. 19 life. But I get another trap. Supply. And then that colors in this. And we will move down here. We're going to do a campfire round. Spend stuff. Yep, we're just going to spend. We're going to spend 2 of 2. We're going to increase the evade by 1. We're going to increase the treasures by 1. All right. And we're going to spend 10 treasures to increase my life by 2. 5 treasures per life point. Yep, I think that's the best we can do at the moment. All right, that finishes off our campfire phase. And on we go. We are going to go 1 over. Ooh, we could go down 1. Explore. I'll just fall already. Jeez. 1, 3, or 6. We'll do 3. Which is a tomb. And that gives me a treasure. My treasure stat is now 2, so I get 2 dice to a maximum of 3. And then I will get this many treasures. Ooh, 6 and a 1, that's a 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I have an attack with a unnamed skeleton. We'll roll life. 1. Level of the room is 3, so his life is up to 4. He attacks me first. He hits me for 5. Minus 2 for 3. 1, 2, 3. I attack him. Come on, big roll. 3 plus 1 for 4. That's enough to kill him. And that fills in this round. All right, we're going to go over here to the east. Exploration roll. 1, 2, or a 4. We'll do 1. That gives me a treasure, which I draw. I roll 2 dice. Again, 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then next one in here. And now I think I just have to make a straight dash to here. Maybe I can spend... Well, no, I'm going to run out of time. I need to get into this room for sure. Alright, so explore. Now I'm in level 4. So I'm rolling 4 dice for exploration. Come on. Give me 2 6s. 1, a 2 2s, and a 6. I did not color in my tomb for here. I will take the 1, which is a treasure chest. Yep. And I roll 2. Ooh, 5 and a 4. That's 9. Okay. Finishes off that round. And now we have a campfire round. I can spend stuff. I'll spend 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll get 5 life. I'll spend all these treasures to get 4 life. 20 treasures for 4 life. Oh no, I removed my life. I think I was at 18. One, two, three, 4. Yeah, I grabbed one. I grabbed that one. I grabbed the 4 dice for that. I think I was at 18. So I got my 4 life, and then this gets colored in. We'll go 1 to the right. A 2, 5, and a 6. 5. Which is an attack. Roll for life. 4. Room level's 4, so it goes to 8. He attacks first. 2, minus 2. I take nothing. 1 plus 1 for 2. He attacks again. 4 minus 2, I take 2. I attack. 2 plus 1 is 3. He attacks. 2 minus 2 is nothing. I attack. 6 plus 1 is 7. It kills him for sure. Faux show. And that is that round done. We'll move in 1 here. Now we're in level 5, so we're rolling 5 dice. Looks like a 1, 2, or a 4. We'll take a... Did I miss another treasure? I got a treasure there and a treasure there. I don't think I colored... Because I didn't spend anything other than here. Yeah, I don't think I ever colored that treasure in for this treasure here. I think I got that one, but not that one. And then I got that, yep. Alright, so... 1, 2. I don't really need to. Definitely don't want to do 4. It'll be a 1. We'll do another treasure chest. So we'll color in another one. My loot value is 2. So I get 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that round is in. 2 rounds left. Go forward 1. Maybe I should have rushed earlier, but that evade really was throwing me off. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Three, I guess. That's going to give me a tomb. And it gives me a treasure, so I roll 2 dice. Another 6 treasures. But I have an attack, so let's see what this guy's going to roll. 2 life, room 5, so it puts him to 7 life. He attacks me first. 3 minus 2, I lose 1 life. I attack him. 1 plus 1 is 2. Oh, 5 minus 2 is 3. 1, 2, 3. I attack him. I rolled a 5 plus 1. That's enough to kill him. And that is this. And then we'll use our last, our camp phase. To move over here. Well, do we? I won't draw on it. It's the stairs. Maybe you just have to be adjacent. Let me look. Maybe it's adjacent to the stairs. No, to reach the final stairs is -1 point. So I guess I could go there, reach the final stairs, do that. I don't know if it's worth spending anything since final scoring is going to happen right now. So I'm basically going to get no, every 5 treasures is 1 point, which is 1 life. So it doesn't matter. It's almost like that one isn't necessary to spend stuff. Oh, you increase your attributes. Never mind. That changes things. I'm not going to meet this at all. I have the 2 chests unspent. I only have 2 attacks unspent. But I do have the 2. So I was 1 attack away from actually having that. So I'm not going to be worried about that. I should probably spend stuff to up my attributes since it's ×2. So let's spend 2 treasure chests, 2 crypts or tombs, and 2 attacks. So I got 3 attributes I can up. One, 2, 3, or maybe 3. That might give me my biggest bang, maybe. No. I think updating this to a 4 would give me my biggest bang for the buck. And then I'll leave everything else as is. So that finishes off the campfire round. I'm on the stairs, so we'll do final scoring. All right. I get 1 point for each unused round to get to the stairs after getting to the final stairs. I used everything to get there. I get -1 point for each square if I wasn't at it. I'm already at it, so I get no minus points. Remaining life, I have, so this will be my score tracker. I'm at 16. Now I have level in attributes equals to the attribute level ×2. And if anywhere at 6, I get +3. None of them are at 6, so I don't have to worry about the +3. So I'll just times it by 2. So 2 times 1 is 2. +4 is 6. Plus another 6 is 12. +8 is 20. So I get 20 points onto my 16, which puts me at 36. Then I add in my quest. If I completed it, I would have gotten 10. I don't, so I get -5. 5. And then for every 5 treasures not spent, I get 1 point. I have 5 here, and 5 here, so that's 3 points. So 1, 2, 3. Then for every 1 supply not spent, I get 1 point. So I have 1 supply here, 1 supply here. So that's 2 more points. That puts me back up to 36. So I just made those back up. If I had a great weapon or a mystical force that would have been unspent, it would have given me 2 apiece. But my final score is 36. I have no idea if that's a good score or not, but that's what I did as the warrior in void intentions. There is I should have mentioned this earlier. There is a space up here to write your the name of your hero, whatever you want to call them. Um, just maybe you could put this up on your fridge. A pretty fun little game, solo game. Goes fairly quickly. I think maybe next time I would spend less. Well, I felt like room one was worth filling out and getting supplies to try to get attributes. Room two, you're rolling two dice, so you get your choice. I think the thing that's really going to hurt you a lot is running into dangers and not having an evade value or not having it high enough, because that's really going to stack quickly. Um, but maybe spent the same amount of time in room one, less time in room two, same amount of time in room three, more time room four and five, to get better chances at getting stuff to complete the main quest. That might be the better route to go. Um, there are different, like I said, there's different characters. They each have a different set of starting life and a set of starting attributes, as well as a different personal quest. Um, so there is variability on how you start. Um, you might start with an evade value and an attack value, or evade and loot, but no additional attacks and shields. I feel like this. I feel like these two hinder you by not having these starting attributes. I feel like they would. I need to play it a few more times, but I think not having an evade, not having loot will hinder you. I don't care about this. This didn't help or hurt me. I had life. I mean, I lost life, but I would have been getting a life back at every campfire round. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 campfire rounds. So I don't see that would have been too terribly helpful, but it may have been. Maybe for a different character. I might have been losing more life if I didn't have that defense value. That really, I really got some lucky rolls with the attacks on the defense and reducing the damage. But I also had some unlucky rolls in terms of how much life these enemies had when I was attacking them. But overall, that is. Go ahead and wipe these dice off here. That way you can see the final result, so to speak, my grand masterpiece in my little drawings. That was Void Intentions. Again, this game is currently on Kickstarter. I'll put a link to the Kickstarter page in the description, and that way people can check it out and back it. They did put, so Void Halls, the first game in the series, they did put on. I can't remember if it was Tabletopia, one of the online board gaming things, and that's actually what the video I did was using. So I don't know if there are plans to put that on there as well. But it is basically print and play, so it's not on Kickstarter. Well, here, let's look up the price point there real quick for the print and play. So it is cost wise. Six American dollar, about $6 American. It's five. I think it's euro. For this, and then if you do go to €10 or about 11 US dollars, you'll get this Void Intentions as well as the Void Halls. So it's not like it's super pricey or anything, and you're gonna get they say 10 characters, so this was just one character. You're gonna get 10. You're gonna get, let's see, how many different maps. 4 sheet variations. So four different maps. They've already reached their funding goal, right? Yep. And they've hit several stretch goals already that are adding various characters and stuff like that. So again, I'll put a link to the Kickstarter in the video. Definitely go check it out. And if it seems like it's something you'd be interested in and playing, throw them €5 just to get the print and play version of it. That way you can print it out and have some fun. It might be a good game to sort of get younger kids into. It's fairly quick. The rounds are pretty much the same for the most part, so there's not a lot of you're not going to be doing a ton of thinking. It's you're just rolling dice and having fun, and it's something they can draw on. Kind of it might be good for kids. I'm thinking. But anyways, that is Void Intentions. Thanks for watching, everybody.